Guys, welcome back to the Semo and Friends podcast. We are here in Dubai. This is episode 4. I'm very grateful. I'm happy. The shape is clean. The outfit is ironed. And I'm here with a very old friend of mine. I'm very blessed to have him here. He goes by the name of Jayson Tulloch. I say your surname right? Because I was asking him off camera, like, bro, make sure to say your surname.
Yeah. You done
I've done it justice.
Yeah, you're good.
We go way back.
Yeah, way back.
We actually go way back. I'm very grateful to have you here. I brought you on the pod because your journey has been amazing. And it's crazy how where we've come from, we both ended up in Dubai. And we kind of started in a similar place. We literally did the same course at university. And now we've kind of just started to become gym buddies and just catching up and learning about each other's lives and the amazing kind of directions it's taken. So
what's crazy about that as well is that it's been so long.
It's been a while.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
But I always judge like the quality of like a friendship or a bond based on how quickly you can pick things up.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
If you speak to someone after a long time and you feel like you spoke to them yesterday.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
And that's how it felt when we, kind of re-engaged and stuff.
But we went through the mud together. That's why I'm telling you. But we graduated, 2012?
Yeah.
We're old, bro.
Yeah.
We got old.
It's crazy.
Skins looking good,
though. It's crazy.
Yeah, honestly. Man. Skins looking good though, I can't lie.
I don't like to think about that. All that time.
That was a dark time, I'm not gonna lie. So what I want to do is I want the Semo and Friends watchers and listeners, wherever you're listening from, wherever you're watching from, thank you. We've just crossed 2,500 followers on YouTube. At the time you watch this, it might be more. Alhamdulillah, all thanks to God. And I like to do an icebreaker. Now, the icebreaker is it's very wacky. It's very like left, right? Okay. Essentially, it's called this or that. It's a game where I ask you a series of 10 questions, and without thinking too hard, you give me your preferential answer. Okay?
Okay. Let's see where this goes.
Right, let's go. We're going to start in a very Dubai manner, and I'll be interested to see your answer to this first question. So cool. Coffee or karak?
Coffee.
You see karak here. Let me tell you a lot about karak here. Karak is basically Yorkshire tea with some cardamom. Don't at me.
Not a karak guy.
Don't at me. All right. iOS or Android?
iOS.
That's the right answer. Dubai Marina or downtown?
Downtown.
Okay. Gym or gaming?
Gym.
So that's the right answer, bro. We've got another session next week. Crypto or fiat?
Crypto.
We're going to talk later, bro. Afrobeats or dancehall?
Oh,
this is a tough one because you know what?
No.
I know you're on. He's on his I'm a piano journey right now, which I love. Which I absolutely love.
Oh, no.
Say the right thing. You know the Jamaican in you is screaming.
I have to say dancehall.
You have to, innit? You have to, because otherwise Jamaican TikTok will come for you. Oh,
I have to.
That what? Afro what?
I have to. It edges it.
Work from home or office vibes?
Ooh. Work from home for the flexibility, I would say. But I do love the office though.
I do understand office vibes because sometimes working from home is a bit too comfortable for me. And even though I'm a DJ, my day-to-day is running like my different brands and content creation or whatever. Yeah. And there's sometimes where just knowing my bed is 10 steps away is actually a bit of a curse because I'm just like, let me just take a little 10-minute nap. You wake up 2 hours later. It's long. Family WhatsApp group or Twitter?
Our family WhatsApp group.
My family WhatsApp group is chaos. I'm not gonna lie. But Twitter is even more chaos. So I hear you there. Designing for Careem for the rest of your life, or designing the next Call of Duty.
Ooh, next Call of Duty. I think. Yeah. I think that would be sick.
That would be a vibe.
That would be sick. Yeah.
All right. That is this or that. Little round of applause. Very quick icebreaker. So, tell us a very short snippet of Jay. Like, what is the makeup of Jay? Where are you right now in terms of life and career? I've got loads of questions for you anyway. I'm sure we're going to get deeper into it, but give us a little snippet of what Jay's all about.
Cool. For me, I'm a father, husband, I'm kind of head of design, director of design, so product design, working tech for a long time as well, originally from the UK, from London.
Jeez.
From kind of multicultural background. So my mother's from Cyprus, my father's from Jamaica, born and raised in London.
But your Sunday dinners must have looked mad. It was
So-
to have a jerk chicken gyro or something. Like,
Yeah, jerk chicken Sunday roast. Or something. I never had that.
I would have been mad.
But I'm intrigued now.
I
I've kind of
lit,
intrigued
I'm not gonna
myself.
lie, I would have been mad.
Yeah, kind of intrigued myself on that one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just very, very ambitious, very driven. I found my own course in life. I carved my own kind of pathway.
Yeah.
Made decisions that have kind of led me to where I am today in kind of career, family, but also, just being here in Dubai.
Yeah.
For a myriad of reasons. I feel like I kind of caught the wave before it was at its peak.
You did. I think you were very deliberate and you were just like, cool, I'm coming. Like, and you were here like really early. Was it just after lockdown or before lockdown?
So it's literally, so the story's a bit mad how it happened, because back end of 2019, I just threw like the sickest like birthday bash for my wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we went, like straight after that, we went to Dubai on holiday.
Right.
As part of it as well. And then we were just chilling. We was on the palm, like in the sea, just chilling. And we're just like,
Getting lost
we can
in
just
that Dubai
imagine,
magic,
we both said that we can imagine ourselves living in Dubai. And there's a video actually that she recorded. And she was like, send this to your future kids. And I was like, kids, we're raising you here in Dubai.
Yeah,
You're living an amazing life. You can thank me later.
That's magical.
And at that time, like there was, it was just like it was just a thought.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's just something we spoke about like, in the sea at that point. And then literally flew back 2 months later, got headhunted for a role. Like this Saudi company said, we're based in Dubai. Our tech hub is based in Dubai. We need someone to lead this team and grow it and scale it and get us to where we need to get to next. Would you be interested? So I just went through that entire process.
Sick.
And whilst we were going through that process, we discovered that we were expecting our first child.
Wow.
We
Mashallah.
also found out that COVID happened.
Oh, man.
So everything just kind of happened all at once.
Yeah.
And then I was in a position where we're in lockdown, and then I got the job offer, and we were like halfway through the pregnancy. It was like, well, what do we do? Like, do we like take the risk and go? Like, is the world going to end? Like, what's happening? We were like, do you know what? Like, what's there to lose? Yeah. So we just went for it. So we just went for this role, got the job, went to Dubai, and then strangely enough, like Dubai just became like a hotspot. Like everyone just started flooding over
started
here.
to try and come out here,
Like 2021, everyone was just all over it. So we made the move like 20 times, and
what was Dubai like back then? We're talking like 6 years ago now.
Yeah, almost. Yeah,
almost 6 years ago. And Dubai, what I've heard, is a very different place, an evolving place, infrastructure-wise, opportunities, just in general. Like the vibe here apparently is way different. Would you say it was better then, or is it better now?
I think they've relaxed themselves a lot.
Right.
There's a few more rules kind of in place. You know, especially around like Ramadan, etc. Like Ramadan was a time where a lot of places closed.
Yeah, like shut down.
Right? So even like during the day, if you wanted to go for lunch and stuff, it wasn't as easy, or at least it wasn't exposed. Right? Like they'd have the kind of respect to maybe kind of cover up the windows or things like this if they were serving food.
Yeah.
Now everything is in the open.
Yeah, it's true.
Personally, kind of being a Muslim myself, I kind of prefer that because I kind of feel like, it kind of feels more authentic. The peace of, kind of Ramadan and Islam. Whereas now everything in the open, it kind of just feels, like nothing's really kind of like changed in that kind of period.
Yeah.
So I would say I tend to lean towards, how it was before.
There is a beauty about Ramadan out here. I remember my first Ramadan out here. It just felt like, how do I explain it? There's nothing I can really compare it to. It's just like a very peaceful, just magic in the air that the entire city is consumed with. And the idea that this hustling, bustling city shuts down for a month or just, becomes very reserved and celebrates the beauty of Islam and Ramadan for 30 days. And and this is one thing I love about it, whether you're an expat, whether you're a Muslim or not a Muslim, like people get involved. People go to iftars, people go to dira by their abayas and their kandoras, and they'll go and soak up the culture. And that was something that I was just like, remember where we're from. We're from a place where Western media like really demonizes our religion. There is like an internal PTSD towards Muslims where we're from. And it was funny because I was speaking to my partner about it, And I said, you don't realize that you have that instinctively coming from the UK. So a lot of people that give me questions about Dubai, oh, what's it like? Can I wear a bikini on the beach? Or I'm going to get arrested if I look at someone's husband the wrong way. And I'm like, what do you think people are out here? Like, you just think that we're just some whip cracking, like mad, crazy, like hyper religious, like without a soul. Like, it doesn't work like that. Everyone out here is a human. And obviously the majority of Muslims that I know, very, very peaceful, very, very humble. The humility is incredible and very caring. So a lot of the expats that do come out here and they spent some time out here and they've met Emiratis and whatever, their complete perception of not just Arabs, but also Islam changes very quickly. And I think that is a very illuminated thing during Ramadan. It's such a beautiful time to be here. And I think a lot of tourists have started to come during Ramadan. I think like it's a bit cheaper to be here during Ramadan in terms of like hotels and hospitality because everything is kind of like slowing down. But people have really enjoyed the beauty of it. But yeah, that's just my take. Like I've had 2 Ramadans here now. I've spent a lot of money on iftars, but they've been worth it.
It's a good social event, right?
Oh, it's
because
great,
like you can, like, even if you're a non-Muslim, right,
Yeah.
you can bring people with you to these iftars, you know, and you find that a lot of your kind of friends who aren't Muslim, etc., they'll be arranging iftars, right?
Right.
Because it's a good occasion to just bring friends, families together,
Exactly.
have a nice conversation, have a good time
Yeah.
outside of, say, just going to a hotel or a beach or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's a different way of socializing and communicating.
Absolutely.
And even like, I think one of the beauties of Ramadan out here as well is without fail, if I go to the masjid, so I go to the mosque, I will see people, you know, taking their shahada, right? Like, and it'll be happening more frequently than the rest of the year because I think the peace of Ramadan is more kind of exposed, right?
Exactly.
Islam is more exposed at that time, and people
Exactly.
really start to get into it
They
and they do
gravitate
their own
towards it,
learnings,
It's
etc.,
nice.
etc. They're
It's nice.
curious.
Yeah.
That obviously kind of leads them towards the religion.
I think what some people also see, not to get too deep on religion, but also just how embracive this region is to religion. So I went to the Louvre maybe like 4 weeks ago. That's in Abu Dhabi for people that don't know. They basically have licensed the Louvre from France and recreated this beautiful building. Like the building is incredible. And as we're coming out the Louvre, I look over and I see these 3 structures across the road from the Louvre. And you see a mosque, you see a synagogue, and you see a church. All 3 of them very similar structure, but beautifully built. These are beautiful buildings. And I'm just standing there, I'm just looking at them like, that's a beautiful sight. You know, this is a part of the world where they actually really celebrate individual people and their cultures and the differences that we have rather than try to separate it. And these are things that I've just had to really unlearn coming from the UK, because regardless of what type of other you are in the UK, you're always an other. Like if you're not from there, I was an immigrant to the UK as a young child coming from Sudan, and the kids were cruel, especially in our generation. Like bullying this is before TikTok and being able to, you know, report people and expose people. You know, we had kids that would just call us all kinds of names. I saw kids throw ham sandwiches at, you know, like Muslim children during Ramadan on the buses. Like, that's the environment that we grew up in, you feel me? So always had this like fear radar of could today be a day where someone tries to violate me? Do you know what I mean? And you just don't have that out here. And that's something that I really love. Like, I think it's just a beautiful environment where anyone can thrive.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm bigging up Dubai massively. I want to hear your story. Like, when you came here, what was the biggest shock that you had?
Ooh.
Because you have to grow into Dubai. I feel like you have to learn kind of.
I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
It just felt natural.
Yeah.
It felt natural. Like the first time I came to Dubai, I was 19.
Oh,
And
you were young.
at that point, I was like, do you know what? Like, I want to be here.
Yeah.
And then, like, as I told the story, you know, when I went with my wife, who's like, yeah, I can definitely see myself living here, raising a family here. So because I think I've always had that vision in my mind of just being here.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was meant to be. I just felt like I settled in very quickly.
Like it was your calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just felt like I integrated. I think the biggest shock was probably just how welcoming people were.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds weird, but like even like your colleagues at work will be like inviting you to their houses to meet their families, or your manager or whatever would just be like, yeah, come round, have dinner with us, like meet my wife, meet my kids, all
it's like
this
a
kind
very
of thing.
integral thing within Arabic culture. And even though I'm Afro-Arab, so like East Africans, there's a lot of different types of Arabs from East Africa. You got your Moroccans, you got your Algerians. We're all slightly different, but we all have a very similar upbringing and culture. And I learned that they have that out here as well. It's just very kind of like an open house kind of
very open
culture.
Very open. But even, even like non-Arabs, etc., like, I think people come here with very similar mindsets.
Yeah.
And they're curious, they want to explore, kind of other cultures, find out about other people, etc. So you find that some people have, quite a mix of friends of different nationalities, etc. And they just want to learn, right?
Yeah.
So they'll kind of invite people over, maybe you would play sports with a different set of people, and then, I don't know, like go to restaurants or go to conferences with another set of people. But either way, like, you're kind of bringing people together. And I kind of get that sense over here. Like, there's always something going on. You're always being invited to something.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the UK, I feel like it was a lot more segregated and reserved, especially in like workplaces. Like, people very much like keep themselves to themselves. Kind of thing. It's very kind of corporate.
Yeah. But I think that is because we had to have like a shell. And again, that is based on growing up in that country. When I got into certain corporate structures after university, I realized that there's so many walks of life and different people from different cultures, and they are very embracive. They'll invite you to like after work drinks, for example. You get to know them, and there's a bit of a gap in understanding, but a lot of people are really willing to learn. But because of the fear and the gap that is created within that fear of, you're cool, you're nice, you want us to do great in life, there's always that you just don't want us to do better than you. And the second that we start to do a little bit too good, all the hailstones start coming down, and they start to try to block you or and it's not everyone. I don't want to generalize across the whole UK. There are amazing people in the UK. There are loads of people that have helped me and leveraged me and like tried to put me up, but there have been some really like horrible moments where people have used their places of power to restrict movement or restrict progression.
I get that.
Do you feel me?
Yeah, that's another shock actually about being out here.
Yeah.
Is, fortunate enough to have met a lot of business owners, have a lot of business owners who are friends. And if you have an idea and someone that has something similar, my experience back in the UK is people will either try to hide the information and like gatekeep it.
Yeah,
right. And kind of either slow you down or just prevent you from making progress in that space, because they see you automatically as just competition.
Or they're just jealous.
Yeah. But over here, it's like there's enough room at the table for everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the mentality.
That,
okay, cool. Like, I've made it. I see that you're on your journey and you're seeking me out to kind of help you on that journey, right? Maybe give you a platform to elevate off. I'm more than willing to help you. And that seems to be the mentality of like so many people that I meet out here, right?
Of course.
They don't really care too much about the competition.
Yeah.
It's more so like the thrill of the process and just, helping one another.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I love about it.
It's like a round table. It's like everyone, if you've got the work ethic and you're hungry and you're humble and you know how to, talk to people, they'll give you a seat. They just want to see that you have that, the drive to succeed, and they'll give you a seat. It's very, very nice. Like I've enjoyed working at many environments here. There have been a few environments where it's been a bit toxic, but surprise, surprise, a lot of them have come from people from the UK. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm demonizing the UK, the community out here, chef's kiss. Like there's such an amazing group of people in the UK. But just from my experience, any kind of difficulties I've had out here have been with certain people trying to do business who are natively from the UK. And it's like, leave that in London, bro. Like, why are you bringing it out here? Like, it doesn't need to be here. There's so much opportunity for everyone. But I do see Dubai changing. I think that it's a very progressive place, and there are loads of people coming here with the right mentality.
Yeah.
I think that their time is limited. The people that are trying to move a bit shady, their time is definitely limited. Tell me about your journey with Islam. Islam has become a very popular religion, and I was born into it. So my experience is very different. When you're kind of born into a religion and then moved into a country that is not of that religion. It's very much down to your parents, your family, your nuclear circle to influence you and keep you guided, because it's very easy to fall off. And even in my industry, like I get asked all the time, being a DJ and working within the music industry, and how does that affect your faith? How does that affect how you influenced by it, etc. And I tell people, for me anyway, it's just routine. I try to keep strong routines. And as you've seen, like I'm big on gym, and I'm the kind of guy that will play my DJ set and I will leave. Like I don't really like staying in those environments too much. When I party, but everything is within limits. And Ramadan, I've fasted and taken it seriously ever since I think I was really young, like 9 years old. But these are things that were like just like built into my instinct as a child. You feel me? What's it like reverting into the religion, and how did that affect you as a person? You as a Jamaican British man, like how was it received? And then your transition into Dubai, like how was that something that helped you or deterred you? Tell me the story.
That's interesting. I haven't been asked that.
I told you he was going to go deeper.
Yeah, I haven't been asked that. But let me kind of break it down. So I've always been raised around faith, right? So my mother was kind of Greek Orthodox, my father's Jehovah's Witness. Okay. But there's always like this element of a high being, faith, etc. Yeah. As I got older, obviously, you know what I was like at uni, etc. Graduated, I started kind of reflecting quite a lot on the kind of person I want to be, and started researching a lot of religions. I'd always had some sort of like a curiosity about kind of Islam. Yeah. But I didn't know too much about it. Right. So there was a period of maybe, kind of 2 or 3 maybe 3 or 4 years after university, where I was just kind of exploring the religion, exploring other faiths, like just in like reading materials and this kind of stuff. Yeah. But I always kept coming back to Islam. Islam was just like something which I really resonated with. Right. And a lot of the teachings in there, effectively, it's like a how-to guide for life. Yeah. Like it actually how you should like just if you just want to be a good person. Yeah. These are the steps that you should take. Right. Yeah. If you want to look after your body, these are the steps you should take. It's a very simple religion. Yeah. Just follow what you need to do, and you'll be okay. And just have that faith, and things will kind of work out kind of for you as well. So I took, coming up to about 10 years ago. Wow. I kind of took that leap of faith, like went and took my shahada. Amazing. Started practicing, etc. Kind of met my wife, and I think
your wife is Muslim as well.
Yeah, Moroccan.
That must have made it easier.
Yeah, having someone
share it with and
very close who can kind of help you kind of on that journey as well. Who from birth has been immersed in Islam, could really kind of teach you a lot of the kind of ins and outs, but also some of the cultural differences between different cultures who practice Islam.
And that's really important. Not even just for Ariva, even for me, as someone who was removed from my traditional environment and raised in the UK. Even though I'm Sudanese, people kind of forget that when you are away from your tribe, it's easy to maybe not unlearn, but just neglect or not even be ignorant towards some of the traditions, because I'm not in an Islamic school. I'm not being taught these things daily. So as a man in his 30s who's still learning all today, it's because I'm surrounded by people that want to teach me. Yeah, I'm surrounded by people that care. If I care to listen, they will teach me. You feel me? And that has made a big difference for me.
100%
on my journey anyway. Yeah.
No, it's about the people, right?
Yeah. Like it's about the village.
As you can see, I'm a guy with like tattoos, like Caribbean background, etc. My wife's family was extremely welcoming of me, and the fact that, I came in Muslim, I was at the start of my journey as well. Yeah. They really helped me, like in that, kind of transitioning period, teaching me, bringing me to the mosque with them, teaching me how to pray properly, all of this kind of stuff. And anything kind of cultural, like any nuance in culture, they would actually, specify, this is what we do as kind of Moroccans or North Africans. There are other kind of like families who are Pakistani or whatever, who kind of practice things or have kind of different kind of cultural kind of practices, etc. From a religious standpoint, like everything is like the same.
Right. Yeah.
But one thing you asked me was, what was it like?
How was it received?
Like coming over here? Well, how was it received? But also like, what was it like coming over here?
Right.
Like I said, like I'm a guy with tattoos, etc. Like I was back in the UK. I was very conscious about, you know, being a Muslim, having tattoos, all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife at the time was just like, don't worry about it. It's fine. And her family were fine. Like, just don't worry about it. Like, you are who you are. This was before Islam.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone accepts that. But because of what you read, there's some people that might, in the UK, that might look at you a bit funny. Like, you walk into a mosque and, you know, they might see, you know, kind of part of your arm, etc. I was very just like conscious of that.
Yeah.
And kind of made to feel a bit kind of conscious when
in the UK.
In the UK,
right?
And someone would be like, "Oh, you know, oh, you've got tattoos. Are you going to get them lasered off?" Or like just kind of making like small little comments.
Yeah, like micro judgments.
So when I came to the Middle East, I was like, am I going to kind of get more of that? And in the UK, I used to wear long sleeves.
Yeah.
Like
almost like don't give them a chance
all the time.
Yeah,
like I'll be in long sleeve polos, etc. Like, but then coming out here, you know, it's hot.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, oh, okay, how is this going to be received? But honestly, like I've been much better received here than I would say back in London.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I feel more comfortable, like in my own skin.
It's crazy. Like I think a lot of people that have watched this, you know, previous episodes of this pod, and it's not even just out of my mouth, it's from obviously everyone that's on the pod so far has been from London. And it's just the perception that we have of where we're from just paints this toxic bubble that we basically lived in. There's a lot of beauty in that toxic bubble, don't get it twisted. But it's just how judgmental we can be of each other in that environment. And it's almost like a stain that rubs off from person to person. Because someone will tell you, like, make fun of you or chastise you or, you know, give you some sarcastic comment. They don't realize the effect that has on you. Then you carry that and then you don't realize that you project it or offload it onto someone else. Whereas you come to a place like this and someone might come up to you and full Muslim, whatever, and be like, bro, love your tattoos. Yeah. And then immediately you're released. Like immediately you are just like, the whole situation is disarmed. The anxiety and the, you know, like any kind of panic you might have had thinking, are they going to judge me? Immediately is, oh, I'm just a human to you, which is, again, such a beautiful thing. I feel like I should be a spokesperson for Dubai. I swear.
I promise this is not a sponsored ad.
This is not a sponsored ad, like literally.
No, but it's the truth. It's the truth. You know, like, you know, if I can be walking, etc., you know, like someone will see me and they'll kind of notice my tattoos, etc. I'll still get salams. You know, we have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, when they find out. And the thing is that when people find out that I'm Muslim and they're from an Arab background, etc., they're even more welcoming, right?
Yeah.
Because they want to kind of show Islam in the best light possible.
Of course.
Number one.
Yeah.
And number two, the fact that I clearly wasn't before.
Yeah.
And I am now.
Yeah.
Like that reflects well on them. It reflects well on their religion as well. So they're even more, you know, kind of exactly.
It's like good points.
So exactly. Yeah. So they're even more embracing of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I found out here. And, you know, fortunately, you know, I've been able to kind of make a lot of friends in the community, etc. And, you know, I've still kind of kept my core friends who aren't from Islam as well. Yeah. And I feel like it's just a beautiful mix to have. Yeah,
absolutely. So the question that I'm dying to hear the answer to is, how was it received? Coming from, I mean, in your household, what was the major, I guess, like, because, you know, when you're mixed race, sometimes you'll have maybe a closer affiliation to your Jamaican side or maybe a closer affiliation to your Cypriot side. What was it like in your house? Was it more Jamaican or was it more Cypriot?
Definitely more Jamaican.
More Jamaican.
Yeah, I was definitely more kind of exposed to my Jamaican side, mainly because the Cypriot side of my family were mainly kind of in Cyprus. Right. So we would go visit, etc. But the Jamaican side were kind of all located like in London, right? Yeah. So my cousins, aunties, uncles, all that kind of thing, grandparents were all here. Well, not here, in London. Yeah. So I was way more kind of exposed than the music. You know, we was always going to like Brockwell Park and festivals, and I was going carnival from age of 3. And, you know, we went every year up until going to Dubai pretty much. So I was always kind of exposed. Right. But when it came to kind of Islam, you know, there was obviously the questions. Like my mum was very academic.
Yeah.
You know, she's got multiple degrees, etc. You know, my dad's like he's an engineer, so he's very analytical. So they naturally had questions,
Right.
and we have in my household we have a lot of conversation about things, right?
Yeah.
And fortunately, I'm in a household where we've always been very open.
Yeah.
They've always encouraged me to just tell them the truth from a young age, and we have discussions about it, etc.
Yeah.
And it was very clear, my intentions behind it, why I wanted to, all this kind of stuff as well. So they were very kind of accepting. Plus, I think, when they then kind of met my wife's family, etc. down the line, then everything became kind of more kind of apparent, and now, they're curious about things.
Oh,
and
okay. So
it's just
very supportive of it.
Very supportive,
That's beautiful,
and I
bro.
think one of the most beautiful things that we have is, over the last 5 years being in Dubai, our families see each other all the time, without us needing to be there.
Oh, wow. In London?
In London.
Oh, that's amazing.
So even they
become friends.
Even last week on Friday,
Yeah.
My parents went to my wife's parents' house, had dinner, etc. But they do that regularly.
Regularly, that's amazing, man.
And they don't need us to be there. Whereas a lot of the time, families only get together because of the kids who are married, etc. Bringing them together. But
exactly.
Now they're doing it by themselves.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. Obviously, there's a lot of people that have gone through whatever conversions or reversions or whatever in their religious timeline, and it can be rejected, and that can become very destructive and almost like it feels like you can be exiled from your families. I've had people that have gone through it where they reverted to Islam and they felt like, oh, this is going to cause such a big problem within my family and people are not going to accept it or whatever. And it's very scary. But the reality of your situation sounds so beautiful because you're just in such a nurturing environment. That's what it sounds like. And I love intellectual people, because I feel like conversations are they're easy. If you are quite logical, or if you're someone that actually, can base your ideas or theories on a foundation or a journey or a structure, those conversations are brilliant. Sometimes and I don't want to demonize anyone, especially the older generation, because I've always respected my elders, but sometimes tradition can be so blinding. It can be like what they call them, horse blinkers, right? Where you're so set in your ways of how you were raised, how you were taught, whether that's religiously or traditionally or whatever, that if you have a child or a grandson that comes to you with an alternative idea, it can be so easy just to say, no, that's not right. Whereas I really love how you guys were able to sit down, talk about it, mediate or whatever, and figure out, a communal understanding that made you all very comfortable and happy. And I love that for you, bro. I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
So,
it made it a lot easier.
Yeah,
sure,
I can imagine.
sure.
I can imagine. Because what's the alternative? The alternative would have been like, what do you mean you're converted to Islam? Are you mad? Have you lost your mind? So I love that for you. I was pleasantly surprised, let me say, because it might, you paint like a picture in your head of how it could have gone or how it would have went or whatever.
Well, you hear lots of stories of it going left, right?
Yeah.
And, like you said, people getting ostracized by their families and, kind of shunned, etc. But I think this was, me kind of being curious about Islam and then meeting my wife and then being introduced to her family and then our families being introduced together.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, her family was pivotal because anyone that knows my wife and her family, just being exposed to them, you'll see just the beauty of Islam and, kind of just what it means. And I think anyone being exposed to that will just see, okay, this is actually kind of a good thing for anyone. Anyone that's kind of curious enough to kind of explore, and if they want to, kind of go into the faith, then this is a great example of what it means.
Absolutely, mashallah, bro. I'm very happy for you. Right, we met on probably the hardest university course. I think the only thing harder were our friends that were doing aviation engineering, mechanical engineering. We went to a university called Brunel in West London. And Brunel was known for a few different courses that really shone bright. But for our course, it was, I think, the second they were always competing between Loughborough and Brunel.
Yeah,
it was the second or first best.
I think when I joined, it was first. When I left, it was second.
Yeah. And it was a brutal back and forth. But I remember I'm a book smart guy. Like I practiced logic, and if it makes sense and the literature makes sense, I was able to apply that in my exams. I did really well at A-level. So I got accepted by every uni I applied to, Mech Eng and product design. So in my culture, it's very traditional. You become a doctor, a lawyer, sometimes a dentist, or an engineer. So my parents were really pushing me to become an engineer. And some of the unis that accepted me, Imperial, like Bristol, UCL. And then I came to this uni called Brunel. Brunel, I had applied for a course called Product Design Engineering, which was kind of like a hybrid, which had the BA, which was the design side and all the modules that we'd done, innovation design, and all that kind of stuff. And then we had this sickening, horrible thing on the Eng side, which was like learning to be an engineer with half the time, because the rest of the half of the time you were learning to be a designer. And balancing that amongst having a social life and playing basketball. Basketball training was insane at my university. Doing 3 7 a.m.s a week and being a DJ. So I have great memories. I also have horrific memories. But one thing I remember on my courses, you were so steady with your work ethic. Like sometimes I was racing for a deadline and we'd be like, yeah, Jason, how you doing? Like, yeah, it might be done by tomorrow. I'm like, bro, how? But we went through it.
And we were out 7 nights a week.
We were out. We was outside. You could not be outside in Brunel. You just couldn't be outside in Brunel because we had like a great campus life. It was the only American campus in London, meaning that within, I think it was like 4 square miles, all the halls were there. It wasn't like you had a North Campus and a South Campus, or, you know, a campus that was in Westminster and one that's in Harrow. Everything was built around this strip. I think it's 16,000 students. That was the numbers. Like 16,000 students all living within, a 7-minute walk of each other. Chaos. Great chaos, sometimes bad chaos.
It was good.
But all chaos.
It was good.
It was a good time. What a time, right? So I crawled my way through the course and I loved it, but I didn't love it enough to become a designer, which is why I ended up going down the creative route of like I used the course and I still use it every day because I do all of my branding, all of my content creation. But I went down my love for music side, which kind of started in my second year because I started doing events at uni. That's where my DJ career started. So how did you navigate off the back of the course and where did it take you? I remember your laptop, by the way. This is just coming to my mind. Guys,
I was different.
This guy, Jay is the most different guy ever, right? This is like where everyone was like getting their student loans, whatever, and going and buying like the latest MacBook or whatever, because you kind of needed it on our course. You needed like really strong design tools. Jay customized his MacBook Pro into
what we would call an iPad today.
We basically call it an iPad today, but he's taken a MacBook Pro, taken the screen off of it, reversed it, stuck it on.
Had no keyboard.
Had no keyboard.
Had a digital keyboard.
And it was like touch screen with like a stylus pen. And would come into the classes, do all of his notes, all of his designing straight onto his MacBook Pro. We used to look at man like, what year are you living in, bro? This is crazy. How did you even customize it? I never even actually asked you that.
It's mad because like, there was this company called, I had this idea. And this was before like the iPad wasn't even launched. Like nothing like that existed. But for me, like, because our course was so like, it was so hands-on. And for me, like, drawing on paper was good, but my mind, I've got one of these minds that is always just active, right? The ideas are just flowing.
Call it dream is
so I just figured like I could just like draw faster and more iterations of it digitally. And then if I needed to make changes, I could like really refine it like on the screen, right? But then I felt Photoshop at the time was like really kind of like clunky and like using your mouse didn't feel natural and all this kind of stuff, like using Illustrator and all this. So
and the tablets weren't really like
the tablets,
fluid.
the tablets weren't tableting. Like they were just
weren't tableting because
it was just clunky.
Because you're writing on something here, but you're trying to coordinate with it on the screen, and it just didn't feel. It felt weird.
There's a disconnect, right? So I was just like, there must be a way. So I just done some research and I found out there's a company called, I think they were called Axiotron.
Right.
And they had a product called a Modbook.
Right.
And effectively, they would just modify your MacBook.
Wow.
To make it a tablet. Like all-in-one solution.
It's crazy.
So I just went with that and
innovation.
It helped me. It helped me to just like expedite the process and stuff.
Bro, how relieved were you when we finished that course?
Honestly, I don't think people understand like how difficult that course was.
It put me in hospital.
That,
you know, when I finished my disso, my body crashed. I hadn't slept for 3 days, and I ended up in hospital on a drip for a day and a half.
This is what it does.
Yeah, it was the hardest thing, hands down, I've ever done in my life.
Everyone was burned out.
Yeah.
Like when other groups of students were having reading week,
it was like we
had assignments.
Yeah, it was like, what is that?
And the thing is, like, it's not just assignments where, like we've got an essay to do.
Yeah.
Like it's assignments where we've got an essay to do, but we actually have to design the thing. We actually have to build the thing. Like we have to buld it. It has to work.
These guys are in reading week, going Westfield, doing all these kind of things,
all sorts
chilling
of
on
stuff.
the quad. We're in that dreaded
Tower A, Tower B.
Tower B. If you really were in there as well, Tower C. But they're with their low, dim tungsten lights that were flickering. It was a horrible, horrible place, man.
It's crazy, man. There was no break for us.
No break. Absolutely no break at all.
Brutal, man.
So when you graduated, how was that transition? Like, did you know exactly what you wanted to do? Did you kind of land on your feet? Did you need some time to figure it out?
I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. Like, I would say, alhamdulillah, I was one of these people that I've actually able to utilize my degree, and I've gone into a field which effectively is very similar in principles, right? So you would say that, I'm in product design now. I was studying product design then. But exiting uni was a bit of a rough time.
Yeah.
Right. Finding a job was extremely difficult. I think it took me about 1.5 years after uni to actually find like a typical like 9 to 5 kind of job, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say my best friend since I was 5 years old, like he was my best man at my wedding and vice versa. Like he went down a different path, and he went straight into like PwC, like grad scheme, like straight after uni. Boom.
What did you study?
Economics.
Okay, yeah.
Funny story about that as well is, my parents always wanted to better us.
Yeah.
As kind of children, and they wanted us to go to grammar schools, etc. Blah blah blah. But where I grew up, and my friends, like, we're just like ordinary kids, like from kind of the ends or whatever. I just wanted to be with them.
Yeah.
So I had a tutor, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why this is relevant soon, because I'd done all the tuition to sit the 11 plus that would get me into grammar school. Right.
Yeah.
My best friend did exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
He turned up, smashed the exams, went to grammar school, went on this path into consultancy, flew. Right. He's now a CEO of a company.
Wow.
I took the exams, or I went to the exam hall. I wrote my name. I put my pen down and just sat there.
What?
And I refused to take the exam.
Was it like a rebellion? Or?
Like a rebellion.
Oh, wow.
I've always been quite rebellious.
Yeah.
And I think
we call it disrupting now.
And I think this is why I am where I am now.
Yeah.
But long story short, he not going down that path. I'd end up down the path where I'm studying product design at Brunel. I've graduated, struggling to find out what that job is. That kind of hustler, rebellious mentality was like, cool, like I'm not just going to sit still. I'm going to figure out what the market's saying.
Yeah.
Like, what can I use these design skills for? What is the need? What skills don't I have? I found out the need was, it was at a time where people were starting to move their businesses from like phone books and stuff, like online to websites.
Right.
So I created my own business. I taught myself how to code.
Sick.
Found local clients from like South London, etc.
Yeah.
Like, done their websites for them, created mobile apps for them.
Nice.
And found my own path. And then that led me to getting my first full-time job like a year after that.
Wow.
So it took me about half a year to figure that out.
Yeah.
I say that to say this is that he went down that path, I went down a different path. But we both ended up in a place where we're kind of like top in our fields.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's flying, I'm flying.
That's amazing, bro.
So you need to have a particular mindset to kind of get you to where you need to get to.
And you need to stick to your guns as well.
Yeah, you need to believe in yourself.
Exactly.
Like, bet on yourself.
Exactly. Bet on yourself. And as long as you stay active and you do things that, gravitate towards you, it doesn't always have to be the first step that gets you across the pond. You feel me? It might be a couple steps, a hop, skip, a jump. You might fall a little bit, get a little bit wet, get back it. My analogy is crazy, but you get what I mean. Ultimately, the journey it has to be something that you are invested in,
Mm.
and you kind of have to find a way to enjoy it. But I admire you for sticking to your guns. I was very similar with my parents, who obviously, when I've told them I'm going to be a DJ, you can imagine how that went. Like, they didn't really believe in it for a very long time. I mean, I'm talking until maybe the last 5 years of my life, because even when the pandemic happened, before the pandemic, at least I was making good money to show what I was doing. When the world is shut down and I'm not making anything now, it was hard for even me not to question my career, my choices, my path. Am I doing the right thing? Am I wasting my brain? You know, is this something that has just run its course? Do I need to divert, reroute, restructure, whatever? And I feel like the story about you sitting at your exam, putting your pen down, is very inspiring, especially to a lot of the youngers that might listen to this, because it shows if you just have faith in yourself and you're willing to push and take steps to achieve something that will satisfy you, you get to where you're going. Regardless of people trying to stop you or people trying to divert you or whatever, you will get to where you're going. And now, you know, I'm talking to lead design. You're the lead designer. I want to get your job title right, because I want people to understand the gravity.
It varies. So
let me let you introduce.
Like a director, so like director of design.
Where?
So I'm currently at Careem,
which is the biggest app in Dubai. The biggest app in Dubai is now basically your baby, which is crazy.
We've done some amazing things there.
Yeah.
And, you know, even like before that, you know, I was director of kind of design at a big travel company in the GCC, the biggest travel company in GCC.
Wow.
And before that, I was head of design at Metro Bank in UK.
Yeah.
For kind of 4 years. And prior to that, I was just, you know, leading design at various different kind of companies, that consulting, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
But I think that the main point here is that I think we're kind of similar in the sense of stick us in any situation.
Yeah.
And we will figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we've got that kind of hustler kind of mentality where, you know, we don't need certainty of all the options and variables. Like, we just need enough to start connecting some dots, and then we'll figure out the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's like something that's kind of core to me. Like, you asked me something earlier about, you know, how was I able to just like be so kind of like chill and laid back when it comes to assignments and things like this. I think that being a creative, I can't be so structured.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I need a sense of kind of urgency. So the closer to the deadline is where like my mind switch like it just switches on.
Yeah.
And then I can go full in, and I can probably achieve in a week what will take someone a month to do.
Yeah.
Right. Just because that's just the way I'm wired.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that's just something that's just stuck with me, like throughout life. Journey, you know.
What has been your favorite company that you've worked with?
Oh, I would say so far Careem.
Yeah.
Yeah, Careem. I'm not just saying it, but it's like that design team and culture is just the best that I've just been a part of.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is from so many different cultures. Like, we've got like Egyptians, Syrians, Canadians, Brits, Pakistani, Indian, like Armenian.
Yeah.
Like, just everyone is in this team. And everyone just gets along so well. Like, everyone supports each other. You know, everyone has got your back. You know, if you need any support with something, everyone will chip in. They'll like park what they're doing, get involved, like help that person.
That sounds like the perfect work.
It's like super collaborative.
Yeah.
And then the work that we're doing in the region is just so impactful.
Of course, yeah.
Like, things that my team have worked on personally, you know, they've gone viral on like LinkedIn or on social media and stuff. Wow. Because it's innovative, it's doing something slightly different.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the one thing that I love about being there.
That must be very fulfilling as well. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of purpose behind it. I remember asking you one time, I think the day that I found out that you worked for Careem, I was very impressed. I was like, bro, that's amazing. I said to you, what's it like? And I remember your answer. I don't know if you remember what you said to me.
I don't know.
You said to me, Semo, it's like hanging off a cliff every day. And I was like, bro, elaborate. Like, tell me. It's just like, it's a high pressure environment, especially at your level, man. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's because of how quickly it moves, like how fast paced it is, how much it develops. Man.
It's like, you know, everything is table stakes. Yeah, you're in a very competitive market. You know, you've got market entrants coming into the region. You know, you've got existing companies, you know, that are really big in, say, Europe, that are here, that you're competing with. You know, you've got startups emerging all the time. So it's like, you're only as good as your retention rate, right? So you need to try and retain your customers for as long as possible, and provide as much value to them, where even if there is a threat in the market, it's incomparable, right? Like, they might go to them for a little bit, but you've given them so much value that they're going to stick and stay loyal to you. Like, that is the problem that you need to kind of figure out, like, how to solve
on a
for.
daily basis.
So, and also, you know, the targets are huge, man. Like, you know, we've got a reputation of being, you know, like the biggest, like, in the region, like, when it comes to being a super app. You know, it's almost like a national kind of treasure in a way.
You know,
kind of being at Careem
behind it. So
like,
when there's that, then
it was the first
unicorn. Government down, innit? If you don't do your job right.
It's the first unicorn in the region. You know, so it really kind of put this region on the map when it comes to tech and kind of startups and all this kind of stuff. And then you've got like a hustle culture. So it's more so like, you know, like just putting together, like being committed, full ownership over problems. You know, you're not just like clocking off at 5 o'clock, going home, forgetting about everything. It's like, no, like, we've got like some real impact to make. And you've got people that you're working with that really care about that impact.
And rely on you as well.
And rely on you, and you rely on them. So you all know that you're in it together, right? So if one domino falls, that's it. Right. True. So we want to keep each other up. And we'll do whatever it takes to do that. So that's one thing I love about it. Whereas other places that I've worked, you know, you might be that person trying to keep all of these dominoes up, like, with all your might, but, you know, if not everyone's in it, then, you know, eventually one's going to fall down.
Exactly.
And everything collapses.
So you talked about risks, and I just want to ask you one question about AI. I don't think we even need to go too deep into it, because I love the fact that we've just been talking freely for like probably just over an hour now. I think we're almost at the time for the podcast. Right? I know time flies, right? That's why I love this podcast, because it's just like, I get my mates on it and we just get lost in conversation. But I saw a really scary stat yesterday saying that by 2030, so only 5 years' time, 70% of jobs will be lost to AI. I don't know if that affects your world or your region, but I can imagine working in tech, it might. What's your opinion on it? Like, where does the world of tech from Jay's perspective sit in the world of AI?
It's difficult. I think a lot of the innovation in AI is happening in my space, so in like product design. So for instance, like, you've got like a lot of tools like Lovable, Replit, etc., that can design and build you apps, right? Like, you just, whatever your imagination can think of, you type it, it'll build it, right? And it'll do a design which is, you know, good enough to get in front of people, get some results, you know, maybe even start earning some money, etc. I think that is a real threat to kind of people in my industry, whether you're an engineer, like developer, or you're a designer, or you're a product manager managing like a team of designers and engineers. But I think the differentiator is going to be, you know, the tools only know as much as they know, right? At that given time, right? So you still need those people who are going to innovate and who are creative thinkers, who are, you know, rebellious and like pushing the boundaries of technology, right?
How to ask the right questions.
Know how to ask the right questions also, but also know how to write a prompt properly. Right?
That's it.
And these kind of things. What that means is there will be fewer jobs. And I think a lot of people are putting their heads in the sand saying, oh, it's not going to affect me. AI still needs people. It does, but it needs fewer people. Right. And I think that is the risk. That's where the danger is okay, like, it needs fewer, but like, how large is that pool of few going to be, right?
Exactly,
like, we just don't know yet. We just don't know yet, right? Are we going to be shrinking down from like a team of 100 to a team of 10 or less, or, you know, in between? We don't know yet.
It's going to be interesting. Definitely over the next like couple of years, because the advancement of AI now is at such a pace, and it's an exponential pace. So it's like, I'm subscribed to some of these AI like Instagram pages. I get like a newsletter every single day. There's a new AI product daily, every day, and they manage the smallest to the biggest things. It's crazy.
It's the tools, man, as well. Like, you know, my subscriptions are probably hundreds of dollars now. Like, because that's another thing. If you're not using the tools regularly, then yeah, you probably will get left behind.
I got a little gem for you.
You need to do that.
I saw this yesterday on one of my subscriptions. So Google have just released a patch for Photoshop. It costs $9, right? Which is way more powerful than the Firefly. The Firefly, for you guys that may not be designers, it's the AI engine that works within Photoshop, which now, if you're designing a flyer, you can say, hey, put Mary Poppins in my flyer, and they'll put Mary Poppins in. It's not very... Let me not destroy it online.
It's okay.
It's okay. Let's say it's okay. The Google one is crazy. $9 patches into Photoshop. I can say, make Jay look like he's a turtle, and it will turn you into a turtle. It's absolutely crazy. But bro, that's our time. We've literally...
time flew.
I know. I had so many other questions.
I feel like we speak for longer at the gym.
We literally do. I swear. Like, you're a great gym partner because we could just chat and just catch up. But I'm going to have you back on because there's so much stuff I want to ask you about just millennial life and growing up and being an expat. But thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure, man.
It's been a pleasure, bro. And I know you are about to go into a whole new journey. In your career.
Maybe we can talk about that.
We're going to talk about that one next time.
That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah. Because I think by that time you would have been in it deep and you would have.
That one's really exciting. Really exciting.
Cool. Guys, Semo and Friends podcast, episode 4. Jay Tulloch, absolute pleasure. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. And I'll see you back here again soon.